Hello and welcome. Today we are diving deep into a fascinating nutritional mystery. What if those aches and pains in our joints aren't just about getting older? What if it's about a massive hidden gap in our modern diet? We're going to play detective and follow the clues hidden in our own bodies and our evolutionary past. This is going to be fun. So here's how we're going to crack this case. First, we'll tackle the central mystery, this idea of a glycine deficit. Then we'll uncover glycine's secret double life, meet its surprising partner in crime, and look at the ancestral blueprint for killer joint health. We'll wrap it all up with the hard science and, most importantly, a practical action plan for you. All right, let's get right into it. Our investigation really starts with one big question. What if our modern diets are literally starving our joints of a key building block they desperately need to repair themselves? You see, it all comes down to this idea called evolutionary discordance. It's a fancy term for a really simple idea. There's a huge mismatch between the diet our genes are designed for and the food we actually eat today. And the consequences of that mismatch? Well, they might be playing out inside your cartilage and ligaments every single day. Okay, so let's put a number on it. This is wild. Based on some really detailed research, an average 150-pound adult needs about 14.5 grams of an amino acid called glycine every single day. And that's just to keep up with building collagen for our joints, our skin, our bones, plus a ton of other critical jobs in the body. But, and this is a huge but, here's the problem. This is all we're getting. Our bodies are smart. They can make about 3 grams of glycine on their own, but that assembly line is totally maxed out. And on top of that, our modern diet, full of muscle meats but not the other stuff, only gives us another 2 grams or so. So you do the math. We are running a massive 10-gram deficit every day. According to the foundational research in this field, it's called the Melendez-Heavy hypothesis, this isn't just a tiny little gap. No, this is a critical bottleneck that is seriously holding back our body's ability to heal and repair itself. And this chart just lays it all out, doesn't it? I mean, look at that chasm. We need 14.5 grams, but we're only getting 5. It's like trying to build a brick house, but you only have a third of the bricks you ordered. It's no wonder our bodies are struggling to patch things up. All right, so the plot thickens. It turns out glycine isn't just a passive building block sitting around waiting to be used. No, it plays 2 very different, very active roles in protecting our joints. It's kind of like it has a secret identity. So on one hand, glycine is the builder. It makes up a full third of collagen, so it's literally the bricks we use to rebuild worn-out cartilage. But then on the other hand, it's also the peacemaker. Glycine acts like a powerful text message, telling our immune system to just chill out. It's the firefighter dousing the flames of inflammation. So how does it do this? Well, the mechanism is actually beautiful. Glycine latches onto these special docking ports on our immune cells. When it does, a gate swings open and a flood of negatively charged chloride ions rushes in. This basically zaps the cell, making it way less trigger happy. The result? The cell has a much harder time releasing nasty inflammatory chemicals, like one called TNF-alpha, that are known to chew up cartilage and arthritis. Now, every good mystery needs a plot twist, right? And in our story, that twist is a totally unexpected partner that makes glycine even more powerful. Creatine. And no, this isn't just about building muscle in the gym. This is about some really clever body chemistry. The key idea here is something called methylation sparing. It sounds super technical, I know, but trust me, the idea is simple. It just means that when you give your body something it needs from the outside, you save all the energy and resources it would have spent making it from scratch. And believe me, making our own creatine is incredibly expensive for our bodies. Just look at this. The process of making creatine internally burns through about 40% of the body's entire pool of something called methyl groups. These things are absolutely vital for everything. And making creatine also uses up a ton of glycine. So here's where it all clicks together. When you take a creatine supplement, your body goes, "Oh great, we've got plenty." And it shuts down its own internal factory. This spares all that glycine that would have been wasted, freeing it up to go work on your joints. It's a brilliant biological 2-for-1 deal. A total game changer. So you might be asking yourself, how did we get into this mess in the first place? Well, let's zoom out and connect all this biochemistry back to a really simple, powerful idea. The diet we evolved to eat is completely different from the diet most of us eat now. This quote right here just nails it. We've become obsessed with lean muscle meat, which is really high in another amino acid called methionine.
But in the process, we throw away all the glycine-rich parts, the skin, the tendons, the bones. This creates an imbalance that actually forces our body to burn through its precious glycine just to handle all that extra methionine.
And this table tells the whole story. Our ancestors ate nose to tail. They were eating animal skin, they were simmering bones for broth, they were eating small, whole fish, all of which are packed with both glycine and creatine. What do we do today? We eat boneless, skinless chicken breasts and trim steaks. We're literally throwing the most important nutrients for our joints in the garbage.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. This is a great story, it all makes sense, but is there actual scientific proof? Does this stuff really work? Let's get to the final stage of our investigation, the hard evidence.
You bet there is. Check this out. A huge 600-person study that went on for 6 months. They looked at people with knee osteoarthritis. All they did was give them 3 grams of collagen peptides a day. That's it. And the results? A major drop in pain and a huge improvement in their physical function. So the takeaway here is that even a small 3-gram dose of this glycine-rich stuff makes a real clinical difference.
And it doesn't stop there. Other trials used a combo of glycine and another amino acid, they call it Glynac, in older adults, and they found something incredible. It restored their levels of glutathione, which is the body's master antioxidant, all the way back to youthful levels. And why does that matter for your joints? Because it proves glycine is a critical bottleneck for our antioxidant defenses, which are our main shield against the damage that breaks down cartilage.
All right, we've gone through the mystery, the biochemistry, the ancestral history, and the scientific proof. So now for the most important part. What can you actually do about it? Let's turn all this science into a simple, straightforward action plan. Here it is, what you might call the Ancestral Mimic Protocol. In the morning, you combine creatine with collagen. The creatine helps your muscles and energy, and it spares that glycine for other jobs. The collagen provides the direct building blocks. Then in the evening, a few grams of plain L-Glycine can actually improve sleep quality, which of course is when most of our repair happens. And you support all this by shifting your diet back towards stews, bone-in meats, and skin-on fish.
And that really brings us to our final thought for today. Maybe, just maybe, the most powerful solutions to our modern health problems aren't about inventing something brand new. Maybe it's about rediscovering the profound wisdom that's already written in our own DNA. Thanks so much for digging into this with me today.